By that thus far in the game, you're seeing it happen on the defensive and offensive end. Haven't really seen a North Carolina player slip. Different fields have different conditions and different hardness and firmness. And from my playing days, I remember this field being particularly hard and a little bit more slippery than some of the other fields in the ACC.
McCarthy now working against the Virginia defense. Chris Merle, now Schertzinger, he's got a goal. Loses Soliday. Flips it back behind the cage, shot in front and a goal. It's McCarthy off the feed from Solomon.
There is no team better in college lacrosse than North Carolina. Once you slide as a defense, they're going to make you pay as McCarthy buries it, tying the game at 4 for the
Tolls. He's got the matchup. Kelly denied at the cage. Road closed the drawbridge. Sawstead lost it, and the Texas native able to recover. And North Carolina had it back. It's jarred loose. Matt Moore picks it up. Both of these teams thrive off of chaos. Laviano fires and scores! Hello!
So this is a game in the middle of the field. It's going to create a lot of transition, a lot of offense. Moore picks it up at the midfield line, and he is not bashful to feed the crease. And Laviano, with the perfectly timed cut, in and out of his stick, low to high, that the slow-mo.
Here's the matchup we highlighted off the top. Moore against Bowen. Moore. Look at the physicality. That's a bounce shot, and Krieg steals it.
What an individual effort there by Marr. Great one-on-one defense with a short stick. A forced shot from Moore. You know, if you have one critique of his game is he gets a little impatient in his dodging. It's what makes him a great player because he's continually putting pressure on you. But at certain times, the ball dies in his stick. And he creates a lot of transition the other direction by taking inopportune shots as North Carolina.
Alex Trippy ties the game at 5. It's been an offensive explosion here in the first quarter.
Trippy, the natural lefty against Connor, drives down the left.
But in ACC games so far, teams have managed that Virginia ride pretty good.
There's just so many athletes in the ACC this year, right? Like in the middle of the field, having someone who can take it from one end to the other is so important. And every team has 2 or 3 of those guys because they've stayed on campus, they've got transfers. So it's a hard year to put that pressure on the ride. Virginia's not going to change, but it may not have the success that it did in the year 2019 when they won the national championship.
Charlie Bertrand flips it back. Good look here from the wing, a shot and a score. Matt Moore, 3 points in this first quarter. You said round 1 went to Will Bowen. Matt Moore is winning round 2.
Yeah, he has been just phenomenal. Right there, the low-to-low shot, far post. But to me, the beauty in that is I can't believe Dobson from Notre Dame's a freshman. I mean, he is, that is a physically impressive athlete. And I mean, he's probably one of the best athletes, if not the best athletes in the ACC at this point as a freshman.
He's a left-handed Perkovic. Shellenberger over to Moore, and it just skips wide. Regan Quinn has the backup. 6-5 Virginia in an electric first quarter. Moore drew the slide over to Shellenberger. Feeding inside to Connor. What a pass by Connor Shellenberger to Jeff Connor, and it's 7-5.
You talked early in the broadcast, Virginia playing less hero ball since this first UNC game. Right there, Moore draws the double team, gets to Shellenberger up top. It'd feel a little bit easier as the game wears on.
A refrain in the ACC, every team's got 2 solid midfields. Cameron misses wide.
They're all first teams. They were at some point, because there's just so much depth, whether they were playing first midfield, a year previous, and there was a couple transfers that bumped them to the second midfield. I mean, all these teams are so talented.
There's Chris Gray working against Cade Sawstead, one of the heroes of that 2019 championship game. Now William Perry against Soliday, and Perry! The fifth-year senior captain makes it 7-6.
Perry from Connecticut, just driving down the right wing, three-quarter shot. Rode drops his body but doesn't get his stick down in
shape.
And that play there,
3 goals against Robert Morris, and then the game winner against Notre Dame.
He's getting better each week, just like Sawstead has for Virginia. But in that specific example, he held on to the ball too long. He got a matchup that he wanted. He would have been better off making a pass, spinning the ball around the exterior of the offense, and re-engaging at that point. When you hold on to the ball in lacrosse, just good things don't happen. You draw the double, move it. And that was an example of North Carolina taking advantage of that.
McCarthy down the alley, splits a double. McCarthy! What an individual effort by the Princeton transfer.
McCarthy, whoop, to the end in the middle of the field. Oh, I'm just going to put it off the post as well. Gets his second of the game, tie ball game.
True freshman goalie, 3 more years of this at least.
Coach Bresci said we asked him what differentiates him. Like, North Carolina's had a lot of good goalies, but he just seems at another level, and it's like, look, he takes extra shots every day. He has 20 saves, and he's upset about the one he missed. And he goes out there, and he's getting peppered by your number 1 attackman and middies, 40-plus, 50-plus shots after practice. It's that dedication that he shows that Coach Bresci says he hasn't seen in the past from some of his goalies.
Here comes McCarthy looking for the hat trick, and he gives UNC the lead. Connor McCarthy has doubled his season goal total in an afternoon.
He came to play today, the right-handed shot. Now look, you're going to see him kind of bring his sticking to Tucker Radeball, a former Virginia great, and he's like, X is where the magic happens in the game of lacrosse, and you can see the field in so many more angles. In Virginia today, when they get it through X, when they dodge, draw a slide, and move it through X, they are getting good opportunities.
X going to give it to you, as we remember the late, great DMX. Xander Dixon, the bouncer. Little change up off the turf, and we're tied again at 8.
Right here, Bertrand finds a cutting Dixon. That shot right here, you can see the most important piece is he bounces the ball far enough out where it can get the first 5 minutes, of this game. I said, hey, I don't think any goalie is going to be over 50%. Well, I was wrong, as usual.
Now that's one of the other things with the ACC this year. Every team has an elite goalie in this conference.
I mean, it may be like top to bottom best goalie conference we've ever seen.
You're right.
Really look at
Jeff Connor with a hat trick and 3 assists now by Matt Moore.
Right here, a nice job moving the ball quickly. Again, it's another hockey assist for Virginia. They are playing very good.
Face-off violation on UVA. No team has led by more than 2 goals. McCarthy's got a hat trick for UNC. Now Trippy shovels it to Chris Gray, who re-enters the chat.
And no team makes you pay more than North Carolina once they get you moving as a defense. McCarthy has the hat trick. Virginia had to slide early. Here's that slide. Here's that extra pass, and then Gray, the nice cut up the field to get
Carolina the other way.
And to me, North Carolina starting to maybe win these 50-50 ground balls at a higher rate than Virginia, and it's these extra possessions that are going to be the difference in this game. You know, it's going to be a save here or there and a few extra ground balls that ultimately is going to put one team in the winners column. So kudos to UNC and them really kind of showing a lot of determination in those ground balls.
Perry eyes Saladay. Perry gives UNC the lead, his second.
Perry, right to left, near side. North Carolina, off the individual effort from Perry, takes the lead against the Cavaliers. While new coaching regime, you know, they're like, hey, we're back. And that ultimately has led to better recruiting, more confidence, better leadership to get this Virginia team, you know, in the national championship conversation year over year. I can tell you,
about what Duke had to do, man. They just had to play pitch and catch, had the ball up too late. Doc's Aiken ties it at 10. Doc's time coming a little early today.
And again, another team goal from Virginia. This, you know, all starts with the slide there, the quick ball movement, the left to right split, Aiken to the low corner. He is at his best off of ball movement.
167 career goals. Let that sink in. Laviano, Moore, and Aiken all north of 100 career goals, and Bertrand, two-time Division II Player of the Year, north of 200.
Your best offensive player may be Shellenberger. So, you know, it's a team that, again, you can say it about every team in the ACC and the marquee programs. Just tons of talent as Virginia buries another to go up 11-10.
Back and forth we go with 2:05.
Moore gets it to X to Laviano with his left hand. Very low angle.
The defensive half of the field and not including the goalie. And you're going to be flagged. You might as well play 7-on-6.
Here's a marquee matchup. You have Matt Moore versus Bowen.
Moore over to Garno! That's a 6-on-7 goal for Virginia. And the Cavaliers take a 2-goal advantage.
Virginia going back to the well. Matt Moore with the pick from Laviano. Bowen gets through. There's that adjacent slide. He gets it to Garno. Oftentimes you just park him on the crease and say, hey, make sure you match stick on stick because it can create some chaos. And right there, North Carolina slid where I don't think they need to, and it created kind of a step-down opportunity for Garno.
Shellenberger playing cat and mouse with Cam Macri. 20 seconds to go in the third. No team is led by more than 2. Shellenberger snaking around. Plays it up top to Moore, who's got 5 assists. Feeding the crease. He's got Laviano. Matt Moore slicing and dicing this defense. And Virginia with the largest lead of the game by any team.
Just a nice recognition for Laviano. Coming the near side approach, and he's been getting his teammates involved. 6 assists. Which is no easy task when you're being guarded by Will Bowen from North Carolina.
Face-off won by LaSala. It's been a face-off advantage for Virginia today. Here comes LaSala. Fires and scores! 15th career goal for Petey LaSala. Virginia extends to a 4-goal lead.
LaSala here, he stays on the offensive end. He's a little bowling ball, and he can split right to left, and maybe not the prettiest of releases, but again, he's added so much talent this year. I mean, okay, Pat Cavanaugh, I don't know.
He's got to be in there too. He's got to be in there too. 9 points at the Carrier Dome the week before.
He reminds me of like a Steele Stanwyck type player, a Virginia great, just lets the game come to it, knows him so well, deceptively athletic, never going to make a bad mistake and put your teammates in the best positions.
Carolina ends a 5-0 UVA run. It's Schertzinger, his second.
This second midfield for UNC making an impact. Schertzinger gets it, keeps it in his left hand. The fact that this goes to the far post with his left hand, where all of his body weight and momentum is to
field. Aiken and Moore behind the cage. Now Shellenberger, his shot blocked. Tries to get it back. Carolina's defense swarms. And it's Aiken out of the scramble. And Virginia cashes in. Jeff Connor having himself a day.
Jeff Connor's career day. Not just a day, the best day of his career on the lacrosse field here. And again, it's like he had time and room, but the awareness and the composure and the poise. I mean, tuck your stick, fake high, go low. Our heels right now.
Carolina's taken 40 shots, Virginia 39. Big advantage at the face-off X for the Hoos. 15 saves for Krieg, 13 for Rode. Anderson against Kaloji. Anderson couldn't get anything on it. Picked up by UNC. I think that was Jacob Kelly. It was 15-12. Still plenty of time.
Kelly off the rebound. Attacks it, keeps his feet, plants, high to low. Big time goal for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Won, 19 to 30 faceoffs.
LaSala and Andrew Tyre. And it's Petey again. He's got a goal, shovels it in front, shot to score, Laviano. 4 for Ian Laviano.
So you're gonna have your face-off man pop it forward, throw an underhand pass to Laviano, and the touch. This is very intentional. He protects his stick. He sees the slide come up, and then I can't describe how hard it is for any player to throw a pass. 77, their best dodging offensive midi, and that strategy has been an effective one.
Why?
For me, it's North Carolina's third attackman, depending who's in on that position, isn't a big threat to dodge. And so when you can take one of their best middies really out of his strength, which is dodging, it makes the life for the other defensive players that much easier. Tanner Cook on a short stick is a matchup nightmare. Against the long stick, you're a lot more confident.
There's Kaloji again, matched up on Cook. Now Perry, he's got a hammer from the outside, and he shows it off.
And Cook, here's that slide. He's a good passer. And Perry, fake, patient, replant your feet. And does a nice job peppering that ball to the low portion of the kick.
Virginia eyeing a 4th straight win. They have Duke on Thursday, and then Utah next weekend.
Now Virginia
talking about.
If you're Virginia offensively, you take up most of the time on the offensive zone as it relates to the shot clock. So right now, 10 seconds left. They burnt 70 seconds. They haven't been standing still. They've been moving, so they're going to get an opportunity here as Moore takes a shot sweeping. So I don't hate this offensive set for Virginia.
Shellenberger sneaks and scores.
I
Pure
love this
speed.
offensive set for Virginia to get the goal with 1 second left on the shot clock. Now, Anish, right? Most teams with 4 seconds left are throwing the ball to the corner to set up the ride. Not Virginia. Shellenberger, the red shirt. I think I could identify who I thought was maybe the weakest, and then I think that's Syracuse. But Syracuse smoked Virginia. So, your guess is as good as mine. Virginia, to me, is getting better. Them and Notre Dame, right now I think are just getting better each week. I'm not sure you can say the same for Duke and UNC. They're both great and elite, but you're not seeing the development and the growth with their programs quite as much as I think you're seeing from Notre Dame and Virginia.
There's Chris Gray. Individual effort by number 4. Carolina's not dead yet. 17-14, 1:52 to go. Critical face-off coming up.
And Gray here, you're going to see why it's so hard. The range of Southstead, but Gray does a nice job of, you're going to see it right here. Look at him extend his arm as Southstead goes over the head, and then.
What does Carolina have to do here to get the ball back?
So they're going to double the ball. It was the strategy a little confusing to me. As
they knock it away.
But you double the ball initially, and they let Virginia Shellenberger just throw an adjacent pass. Usually you double and shut off everywhere else to make their life a little bit harder. But Virginia doing a nice job here, handling the pressure.
Shellenberger eluding the pursuit. Matt Moore will take the layup. And that puts a punctuation point on this one. He thought about it too. Should I? Sure.
When you're winning faceoffs, no problem, right? But at this point, Shellenberger splits the double. Laviano with the nice pass. There was probably some questions in there, when they were playing High Point really close. Robert Morris really close. They didn't bring their best efforts those days, but against the better teams, they're starting to play well.
This league, Matt, it's amazing. Last Thursday, it was Duke and UNC, 1-2. Now here we are, a little more than a week later, and you can make the case that Virginia and Notre Dame are the two best teams in the ACC, as Carolina gets one more.
I think that's going to be the story as the season continues. It's going to be a rotating, top dog in the ACC as North Carolina gets a big goal here, just near.
Matt, we talked about at the start of the broadcast, the game within the game was Matt Moore and Will Bowen, and in that first meeting between these two last month, Moore was 2 of 15 shooting, and it wasn't all on Moore just from Virginia in general. It was too much individual play, too much hero ball. Well, this time around, we saw how dangerous and lethal Virginia can be when they make the extra pass, the hockey assist, team lacrosse, and Matt Moore was the catalyst in every way today. Connor Moore with one more for UNC, 18-16. Take note, Las Vegas lines.
We were, talking about the matchup Moore versus Bowen. We said, hey, the first round went to Bowen 10-9. Right now, I'd say this one was 10-8 Moore. So right now, North Carolina's not going away as they get their second straight goal to make it 18-16.
Lasala wins the faceoff, fittingly closing it out for Virginia. 6th-ranked UNC, or 6th-ranked Virginia, takes down number 3 UNC